Have you heard about Yarn Lane, a TV show dedicated to knitting, crochet and all things yarn, bringing you demonstrations from our expert guests as well as the latest tools. And find out what's coming up on the show by following us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our email newsletter or visit the programme guide on our website at www.yarnlane.com.
Hi, I'm Sam from Adventures in Crafting. I'm a craft and crochet teacher based in Tring in Hertfordshire. Since lockdown, I've moved all of my classes onto Zoom, so I now have customers from all over the country. I teach lots of crafts, but crochet is my specialism. I became passionate about crochet when I was pregnant with my fourth child and in desperate need of some me time. Crochet became my sanctuary and I've crocheted every day since then. I'm a qualified teacher and 8 years ago I began teaching crochet. I love sharing my passion with other people. I design patterns, sell kits and teach lots of classes. My classes range from beginners to next steps, specific makes and clubs. I also like to design crochet alongs. My most recent one was my autumn granny square crochet along, which resulted in me designing this allotment jumper, which I love to wear when I'm out gardening and looking after my chickens. My crochet tip for you is to enjoy it. Crochet should be about taking part in a hobby that brings you pleasure. My claim to fame is that I met Kirsty Allsop at the Handmade Fair and I gave her one of my crochet sunflower brooches. I'm so excited to be taking part in Yarn Lane and I hope you'll enjoy my demonstrations.
Stuck for ideas for the perfect gift? Why not get them a gift card? You can buy Sewing Street and Yarn Lane gift cards loaded up with anything from £10 to £500. Shop our gift cards online at www.sewingstreet.com or www.yarnlane.com or purchase them via our UK call centre on 0800 001 44 33.
Missed the live show? Don't worry, we recorded it for you. Never miss out on your favourite presenters, guests and makes ever again. Head on over to our YouTube pages to watch back the day's live show and enjoy your favourite demos over and over again. We also have lots of great content exclusive to our YouTube pages, such as product demonstrations, troubleshooting videos and so much more. Subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you never miss a show or video ever again. Have you heard about all of the different ways you can shop with Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? You can either shop on our websites sewingstreet.com and yarnlane.com. You can also order by phone by calling our friendly UK customer service team. For Sewing Street, call 0800 001 4433 and for Yarn Lane, call 0800 4700 600. And don't forget about the Sewing Street app. Here you can shop all of the Sewing Street products as well as watch the live shows from anywhere. You can download the app onto your smartphone or your tablet by simply searching Sewing Street in your app store. And one final thing, no matter how many times you check out on Sewing Street or Yarn Lane in one day, you will only pay one postage and packaging. Happy shopping!
Follow Sewing Street and Yarn Lane on Facebook and Instagram to keep up to date with what's coming up on the show, as well as being the first to know about our amazing offers. Get involved with our competitions that are exclusive to social media. And pick up some top tips from us too.
We know that shopping online can be a confusing and sometimes daunting task, and sometimes all you want to do is talk to a human being. Well, our family-run customer service team are on call 24/7. They're full of friendly, warm-hearted individuals, all trained to make your shopping experience as easy and as enjoyable as possible. And not only will they take your order, they will also help and guide you on your shopping journey, so you never miss out.
Are you a fan of Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? Why not join our growing Facebook fans pages? Just search Sewing Street Fans and Yarn Lane TV Fans on Facebook and click Join Group. It's that simple. Never miss out on the latest news and updates from our presenters and guest designers, special offers and plenty of chat with your fellow fans. Share photos of your makes, ask for advice, interact with your favourite guests and presenters and be a part of the ever-growing sewing and yarn community. See you there!
Hello, welcome to Yarn Lane. We are the only shopping channel in the United Kingdom totally and utterly dedicated to everything yarn-wise, whether it be knitting or crochet or amigurumu or anything like that. Now, I've got a guest on today who you've never seen before. I'm sorry, look at her. She looks, I want to swear, you look so good.
Thank you.
And I'm not being all shopping telly, lovey-dovey or anything like that. I thought you looked good when I saw you about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But you look amazing.
Thank you.
Doesn't she, everybody? Doesn't she look absolutely fantastic?
I'm on a weight loss journey.
But it's major. And
Yeah.
I'm not being rude or anything, but it is quite major,
No,
isn't it?
I'm really pleased and I feel so much better for it, and that's what it's all about,
But you
really,
look
isn't
better.
it? It's feeling better.
I
yeah,
said you looked a
yeah.
lot younger as
Yes,
well.
which was lovely. Got my hair done as well, of
And
course, so that's nice.
And you had your hair done last time I saw
I
you.
had, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway, you look amazing.
Thank you
look
very
brilliant.
much.
You're
Thank
not getting
you.
any more compliments, that's
Aw.
it now. We're going to make a ripple jumper instead. She's got the on. Now, you've got on the monochrome. I'll tell you, it comes in 4 different colourways. Monochrome, deck chair, vintage rose and ocean stripes. We'll go through each one individually and then we'll get on with making it. I will show you the website. Oh, excuse me, I'll just hiccup. I will show you the website first. www.yarnlane.com. Click on Watch the Show Live. And then you can send in a message there on the right-hand side saying send message. I think tomorrow morning when I come in, I might have a redo of my Christmas tree. I've just realised how bald it is on my side. Yeah, I'm going to change it. Go down. Here's everything on pre-order. You'll see all the gorgeous colours there. Right, stop. So the first one is deck chair. The second one is monochrome. The third one is ocean stripes, the bluey one. And then got one more because the most popular is, now look at the right-hand corner. That's the colourway you're buying. That will all change in a minute because as soon as we introduce the things to you, they go into another column. But I just wanted you to see them there. So you can go there to buy. Because I might not get a chance to do all the hooks and the thingies and the thingy wings and the rings and all that. So the kits are very, very important. So where would you like me to start then, Hannah? Monochrome, because Sam's wearing this one. So in here, you do get... I bet you haven't stopped smiling, have you?
I do feel so much better. I mean, it's about, feeling well.
And has it been hard? Has it been difficult?
Not as difficult as I thought it would be.
Yeah, because you've got a family. It's not like I can go home and I can just put in my cupboard. I don't, obviously, but but you have to cook for 4 children and a husband and a dog or whatever. You know what I mean? Chickens. Oh, now I need to talk to you. Stratford upon Avon. Yeah. We've got signs everywhere.
Really?
Great big signs. Avian flu. Don't do this. Avian flu. And the first thing I thought was
they're locked down again.
You and your chickens.
Chicken lockdown. Yeah, they are locked down. They have to be under shelter.
So is it nationwide? Is it everywhere?
It is,
then?
yeah.
And has it come from a bird that's flown in from somewhere else?
Oh, do you know what? I don't actually know. I think it's just something that happens every year with the migration around this time of year.
Right.
I don't know where it comes from, to be honest.
Well, Asia, I imagine, if it's Asian flu, I don't know.
And then so from now until about March, they'll be undercover to protect them. They're supposed to not come into any contact with wild birds.
Well, we've been told, we got a letter in through the thingy from Death Row, whoever it was, saying if there's a pigeon stuffing in your garden, don't pick it up, don't touch it or anything.
Oh, okay. It must be a bit rife in that area then.
Well, it's countryside, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, I did think of you when I saw the signs of your chickens.
Yeah, my poor chickens are locked down.
There is a time, isn't there, in the year when you say, oh, I let my chickens out today, because you have to
in the
keep them
spring.
locked
I was
up.
here, wasn't I, that day? Yeah.
Are we allowed to use a picture of you and your husband for
Oh,
the
yes.
social
I hope
media?
he's not watching, but yeah.
Why does he not lie in his picture? It's usually the family, isn't it?
It is
You made him wear one of these?
I did make him put one on this morning. He was. It was very early in the morning. Wasn't quite awake yet. And I was
Apparently
like,
he looks really cute. Well,
he does look
Oh,
cute.
he is. Look. Oh, he's very cute. What have you got on top of your tree?
That's a star.
It looks like it's suspended
It's
from
only,
the...
I know, it's on one of those bouncy string
Oh,
things.
yes, yes.
So that we're both looking half awake.
Has he still got his pyjamas on?
He has.
I can see,
He will
look,
kill
look, go
me.
back, so
That
Rupert
is it
Bear
now.
trousers.
I am in such big trouble.
Look, I don't care. Look, Rupert Bear trousers.
Yeah, he literally just got up. He was out at a work function last night, so he wasn't.
Oh.
You know, I caught him in a weak moment. Just like, quick, put this jumper on. I need a photo.
He'll hate you forever.
Yeah,
now.
he will.
Right, okay, so in the monochrome bundle, what do we get here? We get two white Wendy's. You get 2 white Wendy's. Oh, they're all Wendy's. Wendy's Supreme. You get 2 black. You get 2 mid-grey. And 3... Is this,
Yeah,
oh,
to
'cause
use
you've
that
got
for your
the-
edging. Yeah.
And what colour's that one then? That was
Silver.
Silver. So that's your monochrome. And you get your instructions. You do not get a crochet hook because you should have one of those your own, but you need a 3 and a 4 millimetre crochet hook. Beautiful. Oh, that's lovely. Nice. No. Who is this woman?
Well, I was showing off my Doc Martens in that picture.
Oh, okay.
My lovely crochet friends, I call them my crochet family, as a group of us that meet up every Friday. They clubbed together and bought them for me and gave them to me last week for Christmas. So
have you got them on today?
I have.
Oh, are they going to be, you're never ever going to take them off now?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, right, so that's monochrome. I won't get them all out like that. Oh, yeah, what the sizes? What size range?
So it goes from extra small up to 5XL. So you've got a big range of sizes.
So what would you call extra small then?
Extra small, 6 to 10, I've called
Okay,
it.
and 5?
I'll have to have a look now.
No,
I think
well, you see.
I've put 28 to 30. But
Dress size 28
dress
to 30.
size, women's dress size 28 to 30.
So it's a huge, and there's
It
enough
is,
in there.
and I have
then.
also put the measurements on it. There's enough in there to go up to that size.
So if you make a size 6...
Yeah, you've probably got enough to make 2.
Yes,
yeah,
that's all I'm trying to say.
So,
And it's good at $34.99 anyway, so if you can squeeze 2 out of it. Or you make 1 and a scarf or a hat or something like that with the leftovers if you make the smaller size. So that's monochrome, which is what the one you're wearing. Where would you like to go next, Han? Yeah, vintage rose, very, very popular. So I should have been wearing the vintage rose, but this is as far as she got with it. Just have a look.
I've let him down. It's terrible. I don't know what you can do with that. I'm doing it wrong
that
again.
was me after the diet, the same as you see. That's what happened.
It's a bit of sleeve, you see.
It's lovely.
So you get to see all the colours.
Down the table. Can we go close in, Hannah?
I'm sorry I didn't get to make a
don't be
sample, but I did want
ridiculous.
to
Shut
show
up.
you all the colours. So you've got, and I've even done a little bit of ribbing because you've got the 3 balls in cream in that kit. So you can do your ribbed cuffs and
So you get
bottoms
3
and-
of the cream.
Yes.
You get 2 of the dark rose.
Yes.
Which is called rose.
It is called rose, yeah.
And then 2 of this one, which is called blush.
Yeah.
And then 2 of this one. This one's come open. I didn't do that.
Oh, no, I'm afraid some of them did do that.
Lilac.
Yeah, lilac, yeah.
We got less than 20 of those. Fewer than 20 of those. Is that what you just said to me, Han? Getting carried away here. Yeah. Fewer than 20 of those, right? So that one there is your vintage rose. No picture of your husband in the vintage rose?
Afraid
then?
not, no.
Okay, fine. What happened to all your your crocheters then?
They're all busy making Christmas things.
Should be
Cheek.
made by now.
I know, but no,
Anyway.
they've been so lovely all year.
Oh,
They've
of
worked so
course,
hard.
yeah.
So I don't. And this one's made by Terry Ann actually.
Oh,
so.
you didn't even make that one?
No,
you
I
make
made the
that
deck
one?
chair one. Yeah.
Next, should we do deck chair next, as we just talked about it? So deck chair, we've got red, white, green, and blue. What's the 4 colour in this one? Oh, the
It's
blue.
the blue, yeah.
The blue.
Yeah.
So that's denim. Do you get 4 denims?
3 denim, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
just a-
3 denims, but 2 eucalyptus, 2 crimson, and 2, that'll be white, won't it?
Yeah.
2 white. So 3, 2, 2, 2, deck chair. Somebody put, didn't they, on your Facebook? Oh, it looks like a
Yeah.
deck chair. You went, yeah, that's why it's called deck chair.
Yeah, no, they put reminds me of the seaside, which is perfect because that's what we've called
That's
it.
lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is on the hanger.
Yeah.
That's our own wall, it's not ours.
It is my wall, yeah.
£34, and this is such a good price. So now, also, well, we'll wait till we get on with it. It doesn't look like it's that difficult, is it?
No, it's great. Once you get the hang of it, it's a really fun thing to do.
Perfect. And then last but not least, Ocean is the one that's half finished. So in this one, you do get the blue. Is that denim again?
Yes.
Yeah, denim again there. You get sea green. You get navy. And you get duck egg. Oh, they're lovely colours together,
Really
aren't they?
lovely, aren't
now,
they?
you get 3 of navy, and then 3 of navy, 2, 2 and 2. And the instructions, full instructions. Now remember, the instructions go from extra small to 5XL. So we're saying like a size 6 to a size 28, did you say?
Yes.
28,
yeah.
that, which is brilliant, which is so fantastic. Because I get so angry. Oh, where's that one come from? I get so angry when I used to do fashion, and the fashions would the high street finish at 16. Then anything above a 16, they would suddenly use like naff old fabrics.
Yeah.
And you think, why would anybody want to wear this? And
Exactly.
then if you're feeling uncomfortable about your shape,
Yeah.
you don't want to go into a shop and go, well, I can have this nylon, I can have that nylon. I was a
Yeah.
real champion of the lady with the fuller figure.
Yes,
And I just
absolutely.
think it's brilliant that everybody now is thinking about it,
Yeah.
because everyone wants to feel beautiful,
Yeah,
don't
and I've
they?
noticed a lot of shops using different model sizes, so you can see it on someone that is your size,
Yes.
which is brilliant.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Right, I'm not going to do hooks and everything because they're all on the website. Shall we just start? So we've got a good
Yes.
40 minutes now just of
Excellent.
doing crochet.
Okay,
now.
right.
I might interrupt every now and then.
Okay,
Oh,
feel
hang on.
free.
Well, Sam, you look fabulous from Julie.
Oh, thank you,
Afternoon
Julie.
to you. Happy Christmas, says Susan. Sam, you look fabulous, says
Oh.
Sue. June says, Sam looks fantastic. Are we allowed to know what she's doing? You can say it.
Can I? Yeah, it's a program called Second Nature. And you might have heard of Noom, which is a American
Yeah,
program.
which is what Emma
very
Bradford's
similar.
doing, our expert Emma
Oh,
Bradford's doing
okay.
it, yeah.
So Second Nature is like the British version, and it is a paid for.
Yeah. But you
It's
pay for
supposed to
any
be
of them. If you
a
go to Weight
healthy
Watchers or
lifestyle
yeah.
app, I should say, because it's very much not about calorie counting. So the basic premise is you cut down on your carbs, which
Right.
is fine, and then it's all about looking at other aspects of your life, for example, sleep, exercise,
Oh, how far are you
drinking
running
water.
every day then?
I've been doing Nordic walking.
Not this.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't understand it. I used to go to Norway a lot, and you'd see the people. There was no snow.
No.
And they'd be walking past with their sticks like this,
Yeah.
and you think, what? Anyway,
It's brilliant. I love it. I really totally recommend it. And I've only been doing it for about 3 weeks. I was doing walking.
The
before
Nordic
that.
walking,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Nordic walking.
she hasn't been doing a diet for 3 weeks.
No, that's been since July. So
Okay.
yeah.
And
so
are we allowed to ask? I know it's a personal question, but how much have you lost? Are we allowed to ask?
Yeah, just over 3 stone. So yeah, I am delighted. But the most important thing, I've got 2 daughters, and I'm really trying to emphasise it's a healthy thing. I
Yes,
feel
it's not.
so
it's
much
not
better.
about you have to be skinny.
Yeah, it's not about
what-
having to be a certain size.
No.
It's about feeling well in yourself, and that I feel so much better
Yeah.
in myself.
But also
So-
not just your daughters, because
Yeah,
look at
well,
male,
sons as well,
But
yeah,
no, but
yeah.
the male grooming and health
Yeah,
industry is
yeah.
one of the biggest growing
Yeah.
industries, isn't it? Like everybody I know, I've got a friend who wouldn't normally do he has his what's these eyebrows plucked and
Yeah,
everything. And I'm
yeah.
like, what are you doing, Jonathan? He went, oh, you have to do it. You have to do it. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh, my son's 17 and he's always at the gym, and he says, it's not just women, Mum. Us boys, we're expected
Yes,
to look a certain way.
exactly.
Which,
Well, I mean, there is expectation as well now, but
Yeah.
also it is. You're right. It's about healthy
Yeah,
living, and
yeah.
it doesn't matter what size you are.
No.
But you've got to be healthy.
exactly. And I'd noticed, walking was really hard work, and my knees and my feet were hurting. So I just feel so much better. So
Fantastic.
yeah, it's
Well,
great.
it's just
yeah.
brilliant. Right, we'll stop talking about it now, because
Thank you,
everyone's
though,
got to look at the
John.
app now.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking at crochet.
Oh yeah, come back. Right, so this jumper, it's made using ripple stitch. Now, you may or may not have used ripple stitch
I've never
before,
used
not
it.
you,
No.
but crocheters. So it's great. It's a great way to try ripple stitch if you haven't done it before, because actually, although it's an item of clothing, which might make you think, oh, I'm not sure about that, often you see ripple stitch in a jumper, in a blanket, and then you have to start with a chain of like 200. So
Right.
it can be quite hard to get the ripple stitch pattern right. So because these are made basically from 4 panels, these jumpers, panel for the front, a panel for the back, and then 2 rectangles for the sleeves, you're actually working your ripple stitch along quite a short stretch.
Is that one of the panels?
So
there?
this is one of the
and
panels.
what size
So
is that?
This
you're
is the
making there?
smallest size. So this is for my daughter, because breakthrough moment, when she saw this jumper, she said she would like one.
And she's the one who's gone, I'm
She's
not
14,
wearing that, I'm not
she's
wearing
not
that.
worn anything I've made since she was about 10, just because mummy's not cool.
Yeah, well, mummy is cool now,
Mummy is
obviously.
suddenly cool, and I'm making her one. So I was desperately trying to finish it, but I had to accept that it wasn't going to get finished.
We've
to
still
show
got a
you.
week before Christmas.
Yeah, she said to me, it can be my Christmas present, Mum. I was like, Well, there we go.
What's happened to
I
her?
have made it in the world.
No, that can be number one on the list. Now here's my trainers, here's my this, here's my that, here's my
yeah.
Oh.
So that's why it looks a bit smaller, but it also
Yeah.
shows you've got the front and back panels
Well,
here,
no, but
which
it's
I'll
good
talk
if
a
you're
bit
just
more
working
about
in, like you said, if you're doing a
later.
blanket, you'd have to have a huge,
Exactly.
huge piece. Whereas
So-
this, you're going to be working with a manageable piece.
Yeah,
aren't you?
so if you've not done ripple stitch before, it's actually a really good introduction to it. And if you have done it before, it's just a really fun make. I love ripple stitch.
Now, can I ask a quick question? It's got nothing to do with this pattern. If you did want to make a blanket, could you make squares that were that big and then crochet them together?
You could, yeah, you absolutely could.
So if you do want to use what we've got here, you don't want to make a jumper, and you did want to make a blanket out of it, then you could make several squares and make a little blanket out of it.
Or you could just make a longer row, because I've put the repeat that you need in the pattern.
Right.
So when it comes to first thing first, when you get your pattern, is deciding what size to make.
Right.
So I've put my size chart in, as I
Okay,
always
shall
do.
we look at that,
So it's quite fine grading, because it starts with extra small and goes up to 5XL. You've got your bust size, and then you've got the finished size it will be. So I would really recommending, if you're doing it for yourself, measure yourself first. I don't mean recommend.
Yes.
So it's a bit like when you're making clothes, try and get your measurements first. For the best fit, you want to measure yourself around the bust, arm length and armhole length as well, because all of those things
Armhole,
can be
right,
adapted.
circumference,
All the way,
you mean?
circumference
Yeah.
of your arm at its widest point, basically. So you can see these are balloon sleeves, but you don't have to do balloon sleeves.
Oh, okay.
You can do whatever width you want as long as it fits around your arm. So the great thing about this is you can make it completely adaptable to you.
I'm going to interrupt again, I'm afraid.
Go on.
If you don't put any sleeves on at all,
Yeah.
it could be a really lovely summer.
It could, a tank top or
because it's got drop shoulders.
Yes.
Everyone will love it because
Yeah.
it's covering the top of their arms and everything.
Yeah.
And you don't have to put sleeves
It'll
on.
end there,
Yeah.
won't it? Yeah. So that's also
Just a
an
thought,
option.
just a thought.
As with all my patterns, it's adaptable all the way along.
Right.
So you can play about with the sizing. So you've got the size guide there if you're making it for a friend, but if it's for you, I would suggest measuring yourself. And I've described how to do that and how to then adjust the pattern in the pattern.
Brilliant.
So depending on the size you want, you will then do a certain number of starting chains. So this was for my daughter, the smallest one, so it will be the smallest number of starting chains. Also, it's useful to do a swatch. And so what I mean by that, and I've written it in there, is a little rectangle before
Right.
you start. So I've written how to do that. And that by doing that, you can check your tension is similar to mine.
Right.
So that your sizing, if you follow my instructions, will turn out the same.
So if you're a looser crocheter, will it be bigger?
Yes.
And if you're a tight crocheter, it could be smaller.
Exactly. So I'm going to demonstrate making this swatch now. But
Oh, brilliant.
Because that's a really good way also of teaching you the ripple stitch.
You could use this hour to make a sleeve for your daughter's jumper. That would have helped.
Yeah. So you start with your chain, which I'll talk you through in a sec.
Yeah.
And then you end up with a height and a length. And if you measure yours, if it turns out a lot bigger than mine, then you'll need to go down a hook size.
Right.
If it turns out a lot smaller, go up a hook size. Right. So that is going to help you to make sure that the size of the jumper turns out okay.
And what size hook size are we saying them? Because there were two sizes.
There
on the
were.
pattern.
So the most of the jumper is made with a 4mm
Right.
hook, which is what you'd normally use for a double knit yarn. So a little clue for you is if you are the sort of person that whenever you approach a double knit yarn, you think, I'd better go up a hook size, do that before you make the first tension gauge. If you are the sort of person normally goes down, do that as well.
Before,
so just whatever you would normally use for that hook size.
Right.
So I'm going to actually make it, because I didn't have a jumper sample, I'm going to make it in the vintage roast so you can see the beautiful colours as I go. So this is also, if you've not done ripple stitch before, making this little rectangle is just a really nice way of practicing the stitch before you go for it with the big jumper rectangles.
I think I know how you're going to do it.
Oh, you can talk me through it
Okay, then I think you do chain stitch.
Yes.
And then you do a double, a treble, a treble, treble, a treble, a double, a treble, like that.
That would work,
Oh, but
but it's not what I'm going to do. But that's very good designing. That would work, and there are patterns like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start with a chain of 27.
Right, okay.
So as I said, in the pattern you've got to repeat. So if you decide you want to measure yourself and use that measurement, then you make a chain that is that measurement.
Size, yeah.
Okay, so you start with a slip knot on your hook, move over a bit, and then you're going to chain 27. So I'm going to work hard to make sure I get that right. I'm going to go quiet for a moment. 5.
Yeah, that's fine. I won't say anything.
9, 10. So I'm counting my head. So 24, 25, 26, 27. So do double check that, because if you've gone wrong, which is highly likely I have today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had a feeling. One more, 27. Okay, so you do need to get your stitch count right on this. So, but don't worry, because I'm going to show you in this demonstration the trick to making sure you get it right with ripple stitch. So you're going to make a treble into the 4th chain from the hook. So you've got the yarn's coming out of as your first one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yarn over into that chain, pull the yarn back through, gives you 3 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. So you're starting with a little increase, which is your chain 3 you just skipped and 1 treble. Then you're going to do 3 trebles, so 1 treble into each of the next 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. So at the beginning of the row, you will end up with 5 posts, with the first chain 3 counting as 1.
Yeah, that's your fake one, isn't it? Your faux
Yeah,
one,
that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
So to make the little valley, you're going to do a decrease, and that will make it dip in.
Yeah.
So for your decrease, you're going to start a treble in the next chain. So yarn over, go into that chain, pull the yarn back through, yarn over through 2, leave those last 2 loops on your hook, and you're going to start another treble in the next chain along. So yarn over, go into the next chain along, pull the yarn back through. So you've now got 4 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, and that leaves us with 3 loops.
Yeah.
Yarn over through those last 3. So when you do a decrease, you're pulling 2 stitches together to make just 1 final stitch.
Right.
So that pulls it in. And what I'm going to do all the way along, now this, I'm just doing this to demonstrate, but you might find it helpful if you haven't done a ripple
ring
stitch
markers,
before.
stitch markers.
Stitch markers.
Yeah,
I'm
we've
just
got
fishing out my
those.
stitch markers. So I'm going to mark top of that first decrease with a green stitch marker.
Okay.
Then I'm going to do another decrease. So you do 2 decreases in a row.
So when you decrease a treble, does it not become a double?
No, that would make sense if it was maths.
Yeah. Okay.
So you go yarn over into the next chain, come back through, yarn over through 2, leave those 2 on your hook, yarn over again into the following chain, pull back through, gives you 4, yarn over through 2, leaves you with 3, yarn over through all 3. So that is our second decrease. I'm just going to mark it to show you. If you're experienced with ripple stitch, you probably won't need to do this.
So if you're new, would you suggest
If you're
doing
new,
this?
I would suggest when you do your gauge, your swatch, to put the stitch markers in just for the first row or 2 to help you make sense of it. I'll explain why as we go along.
Yeah.
So you can see already that's bent it upwards. So you've got the dip here, and the previous single trebles are now going upwards. You now do 3 trebles in a row.
Right.
So 1, 2, 3. So you've done 3 singles, and then you're going to increase in the next one, which makes the top of the hill.
Right.
So you can see how I think about it.
Yeah.
So 2 into the following chain. So first one, just a normal treble, and then another one in the same chain. So this time you've got 2 in that one stitch, and I'm going to mark each of those single trebles that make the increase. So you've got 2 trebles there that make the increase with a different coloured stitch marker. It might seem laboursome, and if you are familiar with ripple stitch, you probably won't see the need to do this, but if you are new to it or you've struggled with it before, this is really going to help.
Why have you put 2 in then?
Because there's 2 stitches that make up that increase.
Right.
So when you do your increase, you've got, where you put 2 in the same stitch, you've got 2 stitches at the top.
Right.
Where you decreased, you did 2 stitches but ended up with 1 V at the top.
Understand. Yeah.
Okay, and then the next one, the same again, another increase. So 2 into the next one. Going to be a bit clanky with my stitch markers now. And again, mark those with your same pink or whatever colour you've got. Stitch markers.
Oh, now I've only got green and dark in this. So do I need
What
more
have you
than
got?
two
No,
colours?
2 colours is
Okay,
perfect.
that's fine.
Okay. So I really want to demystify.
Oh no!
What?
That's the last time I'm modelling any crochet.
Is he commenting?
Yeah.
That's unheard of. He's watching and commenting.
Oh, can I just say, John, you're brilliant. You're absolutely brilliant. Please don't be embarrassed. We love it. We love it. We love it. You look great. And Hannah says she loves your pyjama bottoms.
Oh, he's going to be mortified.
He's put exclamation marks, so he's happy.
He's
all right. He hasn't put any
fine.
kisses.
Oh, dear.
He hasn't put any kisses, but he has put,
He'll be fine. Actually, that is a miracle. He's never on social media, so...
Oh, well, he is today. He'll have got one of the children to do it.
Yeah.
Right, anyway,
Right, so
carry
we've
on.
done, let me just show you.
Yeah.
We've got the bottom of the hill here,
Yeah.
and then you've got your 3 trebles, and then you've got your increase at the top.
Right.
So now you do 3 single trebles in a row. So 1, 2, 3. Which is taking us back down the hill.
Yeah.
And now we're going to do 2 decreases.
All right.
So like we did where we put the green stitch markers, into 1, pull back through, gives you 3, yarn over through 2, into the next, pull back through, gives you 4, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 3. Again, I'm popping in the stitch marker. So I'm really trying to take my time, because I really want to make this stitch can look complicated, but if you really take some time to get to know it, it isn't, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then another decrease over the next 2. And then put the green stitch marker in that decrease. And then I can show you, you've got a lot of stitch markers, but you can see you've got your green ones at the bottom of the hills, in the valleys, and the pink ones at the top.
Okay.
Then you should just have 5 stitches left at the end here.
How many have you got?
I've only got 4. But
Okay.
Okay. Oh no, 4 is correct. No, I'm sorry, 4 is correct. One, you're going to put 3 in a row, like you have been.
Yeah.
And 2 in the final. I'm
Oh, okay.
underestimating myself.
Yeah.
2 in the final. You finish with an increase. So you do your 3 singles and then 2 in that final stitch. So you
Oh,
when
you can see it there.
Yeah, so when you come to make it, this is what you've got to sort of think in your head. Start with 5 singles, decrease, 3 singles, increase, 3 singles, decrease, and then you finish with 5 singles.
So it's not the kind of pattern you can do with all the family yattering in the background.
Not when you're getting used to it, but
No.
you can, I mean, obviously you can once you've done a few rows of it. And just by demonstrating this, I'm hoping that you'll be able to check it as you go along, and then you will be able to do it in front of the telly with all the family chattering away.
Okay, before you go any further, more than half the stock of the vintage rose has gone,
Ooh.
and the monochrome is only just this far behind it at the moment. So they're your 2 most popular so far.
I thought it would be blue.
Yeah, vintage rose. Can we just show the sample of vintage rose for
Yeah.
people who haven't seen it, just to be on the safe side? That's your colourway on your vintage rose.
Oh, hang on.
And the colourway of the ocean one is the one that, what's your daughter called?
Anna.
Anna, making for Anna.
I'm making for Anna.
You see, I don't know.
Which would you
You
go
got a
for?
favourite, Hannah? I like vintage rose, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, you like deck chair? Hannah no, deck chair is you. I can see you in deck chair, definitely.
Shall I hold it up?
Yeah,
Hasn't been held up
that's
yet,
deck
has it?
chair. That's deck
This
chair.
is
that
my one,
Hannah's-
you see. Bright. I normally go bright.
Hannah would definitely go deck chair. I'd go vintage rose. Emma would go monochrome. And you'd go deck chair.
Deck chair, yeah, this is my one, but I
Yeah.
borrowed Terry Ann's because I wanted it to match my boots today.
Oh, of course. Because we're all seeing your boots, aren't
Yeah,
we?
I know.
Right, we'll carry on, I just want you to know that if you're thinking of the vintage rose or the monochrome, you do have to be very careful because more than half the stock's gone. Right.
Okay, so let's move all those out of the way and back to the demo. So we've done the 1 row of the tension gauge. I've finished here with 2 loops on my hook because I'm going to show you how I do the colour change. You can
Right.
do your colour change however you like, but I find this really straightforward.
If I'm new to it, I won't know how to do
Well,
it.
no, there we go. I'll show you my way.
Yeah.
So when you come to work your last part of your treble, you've got your 2 loops on your hook. Just pull through a loop of the new colour. So you've got your loop of your new colour ready to go, but the stitch was finished in the cream.
Right.
You've got that V. So that's all you do.
Is that enough to stop it unravelling at a later date?
Yes.
Okay.
So all you're going to do is finish, oh, hang on, wrong one. Finish in the new colour. Well, happily I can demonstrate that again because I've pulled it out. So you've got your 2 loops of your cream left on there, pull that through, ready to work in the blush.
Right.
And what I was trying to do is move the cream out of the way. Okay,
Right.
so you will have these ends because you're working with stripes of colour. So I'm going to show you a trick to get rid of those as well. Now you could even, it's up to you how you feel about knots, but this is a rare instance where I have been known to knot it.
Right.
Because if you knot these 2 little ends here,
So the old colour and the new colour.
the old colour and the new colour, the ends of them, just makes it a bit more secure.
Okay.
I'm not normally a fan of knotting, but in this instance I think you can get away with it.
Okay.
Okay, and then you're going to chain 3 in the air. That's your first pretend treble.
Yeah.
Turn it over.
Why do you chain before you turn it round?
Oh, it's completely a matter of personal
Oh, so it
choice.
doesn't matter.
Some people do it the other way, but
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
think it gives you that bit of room to turn it.
Okay.
Okay, and then what you can do is work over these ends as you make your next stitches, and then
Right.
they just get worked into the
Would you
yarn.
keep them that long?
You can do, or you can trim them earlier if you want to.
Okay.
I'm actually not going to do that because I want to focus on demonstrating
Of
the
course, yes,
stitches,
yes,
but for
yes,
the
yes.
next row I might be able to
Oh
show
yeah,
you
because it
that.
might look a bit complicated.
I just don't want to confuse
Yeah.
what the stitches look
Yeah,
like by having
okay.
the tails there. So you start the row with an increase. So you've got your chain 3 pretending to be a treble.
Right.
So you're going to do a treble in the stitch at the base of that chain 3. Because you've changed colour, it's easy to see. It's the last one that's in your previous colour, so it's cream for me. Yarn over, into there, pull the yarn back through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. You're then going to do your 3 singles in a row. So you go into the next stitch, make 1 treble in there, 1, into the next stitch, 2, into the following stitch, 3. So you start your row with 5 posts, 5 single posts,
Yeah,
1, 2,
all the
3,
same.
4, 5, all the same.
Yeah.
So you know you can do a little self-check there, think, okay, I've got my 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm now ready to decrease. So if you're coming down to the valley here, you're coming down to the dip of the hill, and you put your decreases over your decreases and your increases over the increases.
Right.
Now, the place where people can easily go wrong with ripple is if their decreases and increases get out of sync.
Right.
Because then the whole thing gets a bit skew-whiff, and I've worked with so many people where they've come along and said, I don't know what's going on here, and they've got a whole blanket and the ripples are sort of slowly moving position. So here is my trick, okay, to demystify it. As you come back along, I'm ready to make a decrease, and the first part of my decrease is going in this last single treble from the previous row, so in here. And the second part of my decrease is going where the green stitch marker is. So once you've done your increase there and your 3 singles, if you find yourself 1 stitch before the next decrease, you are in the right place.
Oh, I was about to ask that because you were saying it's not a decrease because you're 1 before.
Yeah, so
okay,
if
it's the
you
one
find
before.
you've got to the stage and you're 1 stitch to work before your decrease, you know you're in the right place. So that's a really easy way to check as you go along. Instead of getting to the end of the row and think this hasn't worked out, you can check it on every increase and decrease.
Okay.
And that's what I do as I go along. So I'm in the right place because there's 1 stitch left and then the first decrease. So yarn over into that last stitch, pull the yarn back through, yarn over through 2, leaves those 2 loops on the hook, and then here's my first decrease.
Oh, yeah, because that one
Yarn
isn't
over.
actually a decrease stitch, is it?
Yeah.
That first one, it's the first section of
Exactly,
it.
and then yarn over through 2,
Yeah.
gives me 3, yarn over through 3.
So you're pulling it in
You're pulling
at the
it
one where
in.
the green thing
yes.
was. Yeah.
So that decrease 6 above the previous decrease. And then I'm going to, just to help, because it might be your first time of doing it, you can put the stitch marker into that new decrease.
Yeah.
The second decrease will always start in the second decrease and finish in the stitch after.
Yeah.
And I use this technique all the time to check, and a number of times I've done it wrong because I've only done 1 decrease and I started doing a single, for example, and thought, oh no, I shouldn't be doing a single in here, it's a decrease stitch. So it just really helps you as you go along. So your second decrease starts where the second stitch marker is and finishes in the next stitch along. So yarn over, into that stitch, pull back through, gives you 3 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2, and then finishing it in that next stitch, yarn over into that, so it's the first single of your 3 single trebles.
Yeah.
Into there, pull back through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through all 3. So again, you can mark that with a stitch marker. So now you've got your 2 decreases sitting directly above the previous 2 decreases, which makes, you should see the whole thing starts to look wavy at this stage. If it's not looking wavy, then that's where you might be thinking, oh, perhaps not in the right place.
Maybe I'll just do treble stitch.
Yeah.
Forget about the waves.
Now we've got 3 singles. So 3 trebles in a row. 1, 2, and you can see the final one of those is going to my first of my increases. I marked my increases with my pink stitch markers. So the third of those trebles goes into that final, that first of that increase. So your first increase goes in the second one. So basically your increases are sitting in the middle 2 stitches of the previous 2 increases. So what I would suggest doing, if this sounds like a lot of words, increases, decreases, etc., actually sit and do it with this on me on YouTube doing this. It will make so much sense when you do it.
Yeah.
So the first set of increases is going in the second of the previous increases.
Yeah.
So here's my 2 trebles sitting in the same stitch. First one was just 1 treble, so in this one I'm putting 2 trebles. 1, 2. And again, I can mark those. You don't have to mark them, and certainly if you're experienced with ripple stitch, you probably won't feel the need to. But again, as I say, if you're new to it, this might help. And then the next stitch along, this one here, you're going to put another 2 in. So it's another increase. You've got your 2 increases in a row.
Yeah, because if you're doing this as a blanket, how many blooming stitch markers are you going to need?
That's exactly the thing, you see. If you approach ripple stitch for the first time with a blanket, and it is likely to say chain about 200, you so quickly get lost with this counting. And I mean, you probably wouldn't mark it all with stitch markers because that might seem like just so laboursome, so labour intensive. So yeah, I think doing it this way, especially if you work the little swatch first to get yourself in the hang of it, and then you'll know, when you.
But it's also not a pattern that you think you're going to be able to think, oh, what? Nobody will notice that because you've got 3 varying colours or 4 varying colours. As soon as you go off, if it's on the front of your jumper there, you're going to see that
you do really need to get the stitches on top of each other. When Terry Ann did this sample for me, and she had never done ripple stitch before.
Oh, wow.
So once I taught her those basic rules, she was off. So once she got past the second row with the first rectangle, she was absolutely fine with it. So it is a matter, I think these rules will really help. And just to show, I haven't finished demonstrating, but just to show,
No.
also in the pattern, because I was aware of the fact that you might not have done ripple stitch before, you've got your actual pattern, and then you've got 2 pages of photographic tutorial of me doing this. Because I just really wanted to make ripple stitch achievable for you. Yeah. So you've got, it's really real breakdown of how to go through those first 2 rows.
And that's in all of them, isn't it?
That's in all the patterns. So, I mean, this is the instructions. It's just literally 2 rows. Yeah. But it's just, it's just getting the hang of where the stitches should go. So as I say, once you've got it, you're away. It's so easy. So then I'm going on this part of the pattern where I do 3 singles in a row, the first of which will be in this last increase from the previous row.
Yeah.
So 3 trebles in a row. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to put those 2 stitch marks in my previous increase so you can see. Right, so we've got, that was the last increase, and then you've got 3 in a row, and slightly stressful moment when you're doing it on telly. Have I got to the right place in the pattern?
Well, yeah, you have, because you've got the gap before the green one.
Exactly. So I'm ready to do a decrease, and I start my decrease in that last stitch before the first decrease there. So perfect, thank goodness it's in the right place.
Well, you do realise we wouldn't have paid you if you'd been wrong. That would have been it.
So yarn over into that first stitch, pull back through, yarn over through 2, and then you finish it in that first decrease of this set of decreases. So, I mean, I do, when I'm making them myself, and I do sit in front of the telly and do it, there are times when I find that I haven't ended up in the right place. But this brilliant thing about checking it like this as you go along is that you can remedy it by
And
just
also
going back a
you're
few
only gonna be
stitches.
like 3 stitches along, aren't
exactly.
you? So,
So if you don't check like this, you might get to the end of the row and think, why have I only got 2 stitches left when I need 4?
Yeah.
And then you have to go all the way back along your row and try and work out where you've gone wrong. So if you get into the habit of checking it as you go along, then it's much easier. So then you get to the end and you should have 4 stitches left, the final of which is your chain 3, which is this wibbly bit here. And you're going to do 3 trebles. And then you're going to do 2 trebles in that final, in that third of that 3 chain. So the bit that's there, which we're used to from previous demonstrations. Make sure you go through the chain. So you're finishing with that increase as well. And then I'm ready to join my new colour. Yeah. So I put purple in here. You can do them in any order you like, by the way, the colours. So obviously you've got 3 of the one for the main colour. But I was really playing about with this vintage rose as to whether I wanted the 2 pinks next to each other or whether I wanted the purple breaking it up. So there's nothing to stop you doing it in a different order when you come to make it.
So when you're actually doing the ripple stitch, you literally just do, you've got 4 colours, you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't worry about the fact that it's got nothing to do with the colour that you're going to finish here, or do you need to finish at a certain colour?
You can do, it depends how you feel about things like that. I did finish at the colour that I wanted to then do the edging in, but you don't have to.
So you worked out so you finished in grey, and then you did a grey ribbing or whatever it's called around the neck. But actually it doesn't matter, because if that had been white or any of the colours, it doesn't matter, does it?
And I mean, talking of length, so you make your 2 rectangles for your front and your back, and they can be any length you want. So for the ones for Anna, you know, she's 14, she's really into crop tops, and we've been measuring this against some of her favourite jumpers. So this is going to sit just above her jeans waistband.
Yeah, she's
so
14.
She's 14,
No muffin top there then.
Yeah, so if you've got, you know, teenagers in the family, it's a really kind of fashionable thing, because you can make it crop toppy or just a little bit above the jeans, quite boxy. And also, you'll notice that on this one, I've left the bottom of it so what I've done, I'm jumping ahead of myself.
Sorry, do you want to go back?
No, it's fine, it's fine.
No, you've got 10 minutes.
Okay, all right, I'll come back to that. Remind me. But I mean, so then once you've done, do you want me to do another row of this, or do you think
you tell us what you want to do.
So once you've done, once you've set up this pattern, and you've got your head round, you probably will need to do 3 or 4 rows, and then it will make sense. So if you try to remember those rules, that you start your decrease in the stitch before the next decrease. So I would then turn this over. I'll do a little bit, just in case it clarifies it.
I was just thinking, if you go and look on in fashion websites and everything, crochet tops for the young are very, or the fashionable, very trendy. But also they cost a blooming fortune.
I know, yeah, they're really fashionable. It's everywhere in the shops now. So I've done my chain 3, which is my pretend treble, and now I'm going to put a treble in the stitch at the base, which is my last pink one. And just because I promised I would, I'll show you how I work around these tails. So yarn over, and I'm just going to also put my hook under those tails before I go into that stitch.
Sue says, well done on your weight loss.
Oh, thank you, Sue.
Jeannie says, you look amazing. I love your hair too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, ladies. That's so nice.
She won't be able to get out the door at this rate.
Right. It's funny, you never know whether to mention it when you notice someone's lost weight, do you? But please do, because you've worked so hard at it. It's just such a nice moment when someone says...
Well, I hadn't seen you last time. I hadn't seen you for ages, and I thought... Oh my God. And then it just happened that your advert came on. So I was able to see what you looked like before you started here. And it's like, I knew there was something with I've lost a couple of stone, but today it's a real, I think it's a real. Well, I think when I went very thin, I loved it when people go, lost weight, lost weight. Now people say you've lost weight, and I go, no, just got bigger shirts.
You just look well.
Right.
Okay, so I've done my increase at the beginning, and now I'm going to do 3 singles. And right. I was just checking ahead then. You can do that. You can think, I've got 1, 2, 3, and yes, that'll take me to the stitch before. So 3 singles. So at the beginning of the row, you always start with 5 because you increase in the first stitch.
So this is you weaving
This is me working around those tails. So I'm going yarn over into the stitch, but also under those tails. Pull the yarn
you don't need to do this on your sample bit, do you? Because that doesn't get used anywhere, does it?
Exactly. So and you don't have to do it at all if you but it's just if you don't like sewing in ends, it's a good way of getting rid of them. And then I'm ready for my first decrease. I've done my 3 trebles in a row. Ready for my first decrease. I've come to the stitch before this decrease, so I know I'm in the right place because the decrease starts in the stitch before the previous decrease. So there's 1 left there. So yarn over into that stitch, pull back through, yarn through 2, leave 2 on there, and then the next part of it will go in that first decrease. So you probably will need to work 3 or 4 of these rows and it will fall into place.
Well, I think already it's
Do you? Good, good. So then yarn over into the next decrease, pull back through, finish that decrease in the first single post. I'll just go up to the increase. Let's just chop that off now. So that's gone now. Those are my ends gone. Okay, and then I've got 3 again. I'm having a moment where I think, oh, I got it right. Yes, I have. So 3 singles. The last of those singles will sit in the first of your increases because you want your increases to go in the middle 2. So 3 singles. 1, 2, 3, so that's going in that first of those increases. Okay, and now my first increase goes in the second of those. So those increases will be in the second and third of those stitch markers. So 2 in there. So eventually, you won't need this. I mean, you might not need the stitch markers anyway, but you'll start to spot where they should be without the stitch markers. The stitch markers are just a nice visual aid for teaching, really.
Yeah, I can imagine they get a bit annoying.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be doing a lot with it, but just and I often say to people I'm teaching, if they can't, maybe try it without them, and if that's not what making sense to you, then put them in because
but also,
they are really
I think
useful
once you
teaching
get to 3
aids.
rows, the ripple is actually well established by then.
That's
so you
true.
actually physically, like the first row to the second row, you couldn't really see where it was going to go. When you get to row 3, 4, and 5, it's so obvious.
It's really obvious.
And as long as you remember, you need that one before you start your increase or your decrease.
Perfect. Well, there we go. You can make a ripple stitch tonight.
No. I'm too busy.
So, I mean, I can stop now because I think I've made the point with this, but then you do 3 singles in a row and you can see I've got it now, taken my stitch markers out, and that's how you work along. And let's see if I'm in the right place to start my next decrease. Moment of truth. Yes, 1 stitch before the first decrease. So you can see how you work that along
but
now.
You can see that now. That's obvious to the eye now.
Yeah, I think once you've worked the 4 colours, and also, I love a ripple stitch because every time you put a new colour on, it looks different.
Yes.
Even though you're only working with 4 colours, it's a really fun thing to make because you're like, I've done the repeat once. Oh, I put navy on the top now, and it looks different again.
But what you could do is you could do things. Once you got the pattern, you could do blue from there to there.
You could
then do like a rainbow
nice.
stripes, then go to navy blue again.
Yeah,
you
could. You could, and you don't. So I've done 1 stripe in every colour, but you could do 2 and then 1 and 2 and then 1,
but sometimes
or
you just
a block
want
of it, or
band.
just a band of it. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to go to next? Because suddenly the time's whizzing away.
Yes, I will just show you. So you'll do that 4 times until you've got a front and a back and 2 sleeves.
Right.
With the front and back panels, there's a little bit of shaping around the neck, which is just rows of trebles back and forth.
So no increasing,
not
decreasing,
doing increasing
just
and
trebles.
decreasing. It's just to give it that little drop shoulder over the top of your shoulders. So again, you can play around with that if you want more of a drop, or you don't want a drop and you just want a slash neck, or if you want a tighter neck, because I like, as you know from a lot of my designs, quite a wide neck. But if you want yours to be quite a tighter neck, you can come further in with these rows. So this is just an add-on on the pattern. It says make 1 treble into so many stitches along, and just saying this to you now, you can come further in if you want, or less far.
Don't come too far in, if you won't get it over
as long as you can get it on your head. Yeah, exactly. So that bit can be played about with. And I've also straightened off my ripples to give it a finished off look. So I've worked along the top, and this is where I have done what you said at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
You do a pattern of 2 doubles, 2 half trebles, 4 trebles. So there you go, John.
See, I've learned something, haven't I? So why have you straightened off then?
I just liked the finish of it straightened off. So, for example, if you wanted to add ribbing around the neck, which is what I've done, perhaps if I hold this one here, you can see it a bit better.
Oh, so you straighten off the ripple
bit? I straightened it off, the ripple bit, before I added the ribbing.
Hang on, let's
so
have a look.
Perhaps if I put that there.
Right.
So you can see the green row there?
Yeah.
That's straightened off.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you don't have to do that. You could just have the whole thing ripple along the top of your neck.
Oh, yes, because otherwise it'll go in and out of...
Otherwise, and also otherwise you'll end up with a ripple around your neck. But you might want... What you could choose to do is not have this ribbing here and just have a slash neck ripple.
Right.
And I also finished off the bottom in the same way and added some ribbing here.
Right.
And with the cuffs, because they're a balloon sleeve, I did the same thing with that. And I've also brought it in. All the instructions are there. You don't have to do that. You could have a wider sleeve just
then
finish.
Drop in your gravy. And
and I mean, Terry Ann likes hers because I say this is her jumper, so that she can do her washing up. So they always finish about 3/4 down her arms, but which is I get that completely.
Maybe club together and get a dishwasher.
Yeah. But when you come to, I said right at the beginning, take your measurements.
Yeah.
You could, as long as you've got the widest part of your arm, if you don't want balloon sleeves, you can make a straighter sleeve.
Right, okay.
So it's all in the instructions how to do that.
And what were you going to show?
I was going to show you on Anna's one, because she's, young and fashionable.
Yeah.
I left the bottom of hers unstraight. So she's
yes,
going
I quite like that at the bottom.
I quite like. So she doesn't want ribbing along the bottom of hers, and I haven't straightened it off. So I have straightened off the top, and I've done my little bits for her drop shoulder, and I will do the sleeves. I'm not sure if she wants balloon sleeves or not. We shall see, because you could do a straight sleeve that ends about there, and wear a long sleeve top under it.
She might like my idea of no sleeves.
Exactly.
Right. So if you did no sleeves, would you still have to finish off round the armhole?
You could do, but you wouldn't have to. But you probably would look nicer if you did.
Just like a little.
Yeah, you could use the instructions I've given you for the cuff to do that without. They've obviously decreased to get these balloon cuffs.
So everything in there might be the instructions to make that, but you can adapt it all to make what you want to make.
So always try to write my patterns so that you can make the thing you want to, so that you can adjust the sizing, the length. It can be the length you want. Yeah. So
brilliant.
Have some fun with it.
Let me just do a recap. Is there anything else you want to say about it?
No, that's everything, if that's okay with you.
Okay, that's fine, yeah. Monochrome, which is that you might have to model. So the black and white one, the black and white monochrome one there. Very, very popular, in second place at the moment, but only just. Oh, it's gone to third place now.
Has it?
Oh, controversial.
Yeah.
Next, I've got Vintage Rose, which is, that's still in first place. That's been in first place all day.
Yeah,
Single
I'm not
figures,
surprised. It's lovely.
That's that one
gorgeous.
there. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours will be a bit bigger than that. Sadly, I couldn't wear it for you today. Yep. Then Ocean in second place. Ocean is now in second place. You see, I like that. I like all these.
I love all the duck. I love the duck egg and sea
That's
green
got a
with the
kind
blues.
of retro. That one feels retro.
Yeah,
to me, that one.
definitely.
Yeah.
I do like this one a lot as well.
Beautiful. What colour hair has your daughter got? Anna got.
Dark brown.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Lovely.
yeah.
And then last but not least, the deck chair. Hannah's favourite, your favourite.
Yeah.
In fourth place.
Come on,
Fourth
deck
place.
chair.
Deck chair. Just hold deck chair up for me. There you go. It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a really weird look, isn't it? Because there's always one. I'm not saying nobody likes it. We've sold loads of them, but you know what I mean? It's like kind of, you've got a definite favourite. There's a definite favourite.
Yeah, and it's never the one you think.
No, never. 34.99. Right, Collector in Merseyside sent in a quick message. Is it Arcade? I agree. Sam looks amazing. She always did. Her smile lights up the room.
That's so lovely. Thank you very much. How nice.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Right. Now, Yarn, what day is it? Wednesday. So Yarn Lane will be back on Friday with Vix presenting. Is Cara doing knitting? Cross stitch in Yarn Lane. And is she doing all three? Is she doing three during the day then? Is she on Sewing Street as well? Yeah. Oh, who's the guest during the day on Sewing Street? Oh, Delphine and Neil and Cara. Oh, you've got a right old day on Friday, haven't you? Anyway, we talk about Friday. So on Friday, Yarn Lane will be Cara in doing that. Now, I'm going to go now. Thank you ever so much.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Thank
have a
you.
brilliant
Pleasure.
Christmas.
Thank you, and you.
And when are you in next? You know, when are you next?
24th of January.
Well, it's quite a big break then.
Yes, yeah. I wanted a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
are you got family coming, or is it just your unit family? for
We are
Christmas?
going to my mum's and my husband's mum's, yeah. So 2 different days.
Oh,
yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah,
I'll have
so
a
that'd be
brilliant,
lovely.
brilliant time.
Yeah.
And don't forget to get that jumper finished for Anna. I'll see you tomorrow morning on Sewing Street at 8 o'clock. And you'll see Yarn Lane on Friday with Vix at 12 o'clock. Take care.